Hey, Mrs. Kimball here from Kids Cook Real Food, and I have a very exciting guest here today. I'm here at a local restaurant in Grand Rapids, Michigan called Terra GR, and this is Executive Chef Clark Frain, and he's agreed to talk to us today a little bit about how he got started getting in the kitchen and what it's like being a chef. I'm super excited to share this with you guys. Thanks for being here,
Thanks
Chef
for
Clark.
having us, Katie.
Yeah, so tell us just real quick, what is your job and how long have you been a chef?
My job is cooking, and I've been an executive chef for like 7 or 8 years, and then I've been in the industry since I was 15 years old.
15 in the
Yeah.
kitchen? That's so cool. So now, I just realized, I think I know what an executive chef is, but I don't know if kids would know. What are like different chef jobs that exist?
So you can be a line cook, and that would be making the dishes, preparing them directly for the guests. You could be a sous chef that has lots of responsibilities, assisting with coming up with menus, doing some ordering, and an executive chef would be responsible for all of the financial numbers and also creating the menu, hiring team members like cooks and dishwashers, prep cooks, things like that.
Okay, so you're the boss.
Yeah.
So your job is, you get to cook still? Do you get to work with food still?
Yeah.
Okay, because yeah, I'm sure that's what kind of gives you life, but you're also in charge of people and doing stuff.
We choose this not to sit at a desk. So anytime that, I mean, it's nice to be able to sit down for a minute, but the action is definitely being on the line.
Okay, very cool. So what's your favorite kitchen tool?
That's a really good question. I have so many. Slotted spoon, vegetable peeler, knife. But like it's a chef's knife, 10 inches.
Chef's knife, 10 inches. 10 inches is too long for children, P.S. But awesome for a chef. I love that everything you just listed is in my kitchen. You didn't list the big, fancy, expensive tools.
Oh, like your KitchenAid mixer with the whisk attachment, or
Which, those are cool too.
Yeah.
But just the basic stuff is the stuff you use every day.
every day.
It's the best. I love it. Okay, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food. I mean, if this is like last meal on earth, I'm definitely having pizza.
Pizza. Oh, see right there. But now, is that the same or different? Like, what was your favorite food when you were a kid?
When I was a child growing up, it was cereal. Easy. Every Saturday morning, big bowl of cereal. My grandma would drop off like 4 boxes, and like we would just pick. Oh my gosh, we got this one. And we're gonna eat Frosted Flakes or whatever it was. Yeah.
That's so funny. So I do like that your tastes have changed. Do you mind telling us what you would put on that favorite pizza?
I like mushrooms. I like my vegetables. I'm a big supreme or deluxe type of a pizza guy. A good pepperoni that curls up. I like ham. Yeah, I'm gonna go supreme or deluxe all the way.
And a bunch of stuff on there, which, you know, again, it's really different than cereal. So I like to remind kids and parents too that our tastes change.
Yeah,
over
they evolve.
time. Have you found anything, like, let's say in the last couple of years of your life, have you discovered any new food that you didn't know you liked?
Well, since I got into the industry, even at a younger age, I was excited and curious about trying everything.
Okay.
So if something came in the back door at work and we were like, oh, I've never played around with this, I definitely at least took a bite or tried to, experience it. Definitely, that mindset has changed since like you were a child, and you're like, I don't want to try that.
Very cool. So when you were a kid, do you have like a first memory of working in the kitchen?
Yeah, I got a Disney cookbook, and the first thing that I ever made with like minimal supervision was like a piglet pizza, and it was English muffin with probably tomato sauce, some cheese, and then like some pepperoni. And I'm quite certain that I got to put it in the oven and take it out and like serve it for my family. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
My sisters and brothers will still remind me of that.
So that was a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
How old
When you're
were you?
like 9 years old, being able to like make dinner or like serve a dish at a family thing, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Do you know how old you were like when you first started working in the kitchen at all? Was it then or before?
No, I was in high school. I got a job at a local restaurant, Mr. Burger, on Lake Michigan Drive. I started in the drive-through, and then like you would graduate to get on the front line and work with all the people coming up and ordering.
Okay, very cool. So how did you learn to cook? Who taught you?
Definitely had some great teachers, but ultimately, you want to keep challenging yourself. You want to follow other chefs. You want to pay attention to what's going on in the industry. Cooking shows are great. Those came onto the scene when I was just getting into the industry. So, like your Chopped or your Food Network, Next Stars and things like that. Those are cool. Magazines and books are definitely the best way. I try to give myself a little bit of an allowance of maybe a book a month, and try to build and keep learning things like that.
Even now, you're still trying to learn new things.
Yeah, you have to. The competition is tough.
Really?
So you have to be on what's going on trend, what's cutting edge, how to refine something that you may be doing, but how you might want to do it better.
Okay, so
Yeah.
lifelong learning is definitely a skill we love to promote. I love to tell my kids I'm always learning too, so that's very cool. What about so you went to school to learn to cook, really cooking. But back when you were making piglet pizza, was there anyone in your life who got you involved in the kitchen as a child?
Growing up, I had never dined at my grandfather's restaurant or anything like that, but he was a chef. My parents cooked often, all the time, and picked up family recipes like French toast or our caramel sauce for making caramel corn, watching movies as kids, just things like that, yeah.
Did they invite you in to the kitchen?
No, not until I got that Disney cookbook was I allowed to really get into the kitchen. I don't know, of course, there's family moments like stirring cookie batter or pancake mix with my mom or something like that, peeling potatoes with my grandparents, things like that.
So how did you decide to become a chef?
It was something that I got into as a job in high school, and it was fun. It was working with other like-aged people. And then when I moved on to a different restaurant, I got a little bit older, and I thought, I'm having fun. I might be doing a pretty good job. Maybe I'll get serious about this. And then I went to school for a while. Yeah.
Okay, so it almost sounds like it was a happy accident. It was your first job and
Yeah,
fit.
it's been the only real job outside of a paper route that I've ever had. So I decided to get serious about it.
Okay. All right. Well, we like talking about learning from our mistakes. So
That's the best way to learn.
What's the worst kitchen fail, food-wise, that you've ever had? Oh no! You can't talk for a whole hour or anything. But do you have a good story?
The kitchen fail, I don't know. Thankfully, when it gets to be on the menu or we do things on feature, we have practice going into it. But there's certainly nothing that hasn't hey, we could do this differently and have a better outcome or things like that. I've certainly served a souffle that has fallen and not.
So souffle is a fluffy thing.
Right, your egg, dish that comes out and then it's elevated just maybe an inch or two above the dish. That was an embarrassing moment.
Because you served it to a customer.
It was also a last meal at one of my restaurants too. Yeah, almost my exit dish.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Do you ever try anything I'm going to try to make up something new, and then it turns out oh, nobody can eat this?
Absolutely. Not to the point where we serve it and it goes on a menu,
No.
but you might have
When
an
you're playing
idea
around.
and then it goes onto a pad and then I'm trying to bring in ingredients and we start playing around with it and you're like, this doesn't work. Either it's too much and it should be more simple, or it needs something and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of parents are a little bit nervous to let their kids be creative in the kitchen because they're worried that it won't turn out well, that it won't be tasty. So, but that's okay. It's okay to fail sometimes. As long as you talk about why those flavors maybe didn't fit together.
It's not about really failing. It's about figuring out how to do something differently the next time that you try. Mm-hmm. The life lessons are always learned best when it's exposed to you and now you have a chance to maybe tweak it the next time around.
Okay, love that. Now, have you ever had a kitchen accident where you got hurt? using a tool?
I've been fortunate to have just gotten a med center visit just one time.
Okay, what happened? Can you tell us?
It was me not paying attention and goofing off.
No.
Yeah, that's
With
all
the
it was.
knife?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Parents might be a little nervous about that kind of thing too.
I think for parents, it's really just being really direct and hands-on with the child when they're first starting to hold the knife and starting with, building the confidence. I have a motto that I've always worked with is you respect the knife because you are aware of what it can do, but you don't fear the knife because you're in control of what it is going to do.
I like that. Respect the knife because you're aware that it is sharp and what it can do, but don't fear it because you're in control.
Yeah.
That's cool. One of the first phrases we teach kids in our knife skills class is knife moves, eyes down, which means no goofing off. So if the knife is moving, your eyes are down, and then food moves, knife down. Meaning if you're going to start to move food around, put that knife down so it's no longer in your hand. So that's what we teach starting at age 2 with the butter knife, so that they get that practice, and when they get to 5, 6, 7 and get a paring knife in their hand, it's second nature to be safe. So we make parents feel a lot more comfortable, make kids feel a lot more confident for sure. So let's talk about the food that you make. You work in a restaurant where you use a lot of produce from local farms, and you do seasonal flavors and really cool stuff. So what's more important to you, that the food is healthy for people and nourishes their bodies, or that it brings them enjoyment and just tastes good, or is there some sort of relationship with that?
The most important thing for me is to make it delicious, and then people have a great experience eating the food. And anytime that we have the ability to make it as healthy as possible, then we absolutely go that route.
Okay,
But
sounds good.
Dessert is dessert for a reason.
That's true, that's true. All right, I want to get a couple tips from you for our kids out here. What skills do you think are most important to learn when kids first start cooking?
Safety. When you're in a kitchen, knowing what is around you, what can be hot, what needs to be, held with 2 hands. Just kind of maybe going through a kitchen with their parents and being like, man, this is how the oven works, and this is how we turn it off, and this is how we keep it safe, and this is why we have hot pads, and this is why we grab things with towels, or things like that. Cutting boards, how to make them not slide, everything.
Sure. Yeah, because really all that safety and that knowledge is empowering.
Yeah.
It lets you, kind of unlocks the kitchen so that you can do everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I love that you started with that. What would you say to kids about trying new foods that they've never seen before, or maybe even trying a food that they already tried once and didn't like?
I would say give everything a shot or 2 chances. You're going to enjoy different things the more that you grow up. I think trying new things is just kind of fun, and it keeps things interesting.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, my husband, who is not a kid anymore, just started liking sweet potatoes this year.
Yeah.
So it's always possible to change something, and I think trying cooking it in different ways really helped. I think he just had them cut up and roasted with chili powder for the first time ever, and he was like, oh, I actually like these now after 30 years.
Going to different restaurants and seeing how people prepare things differently, that can be an eye-opener for especially somebody that has a intimidated palate.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite way to prepare vegetables as far as steaming, sauteing, roasting?
I love taking an ingredient and then seeing how many different things I can do to it.
The one thing.
Right. So we have a radish dish on the menu right now. It's a radish, but we pickle it and we serve it raw and we roast it and we use the tops in our pesto. So we're getting 4 different elements of utilizing that radish in one dish.
That's cool. And I bet some people like some parts and not others, because it's still all the same food prepared in different ways. Ooh, that's really fun. That's really fun. So I love to raise the bar for kids. So here's your final question. I want you to give them your chef's challenge, something for them to do.
Go to a farmer's market, find 3 or 4 ingredients, and make a salad out of it. It's summer, you can eat light, it's going to be nourishing for you. You're also going to be able to do the vegetables or fruit, if you're lucky to find some, on the salad. It's going to be super yummy. You can make a dressing with one of the ingredients. You can cut one of the ingredients raw. You maybe be able to cook one of the other ingredients. I think having fun with that would be a great challenge.
And don't be afraid to try it.
No,
Right?
eat
You can't
it,
be
serve
afraid.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just make something up. I love that. We teach making homemade dressings in the first lesson of our intermediate level. So we've got little kids, preschool kids, and we have kids who can read, and then the advanced kids who get to use the chef's knife. So our intermediate level, the very first thing they do to work on good measuring and making a recipe and kind of playing with amounts is making homemade salad dressings. So, perfect. But we have one more little treat for you guys. We are going to go into the kitchen,
My favorite.
put the apron on,
Yep.
and make favorite pizza with what on it?
We're going to do a Margherita classic pizza. We have, luckily, heirloom tomatoes in season right now. We're going to top those, basil. We pull our own mozzarella. We make cheese here, so that's going to be fun too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. So we're gonna show you that. Thank you so much.
No problem.
What are we making here?
We'll make a Margherita Pizza. Fresh heirloom tomatoes, hand-pulled mozzarella, basil when it comes out, extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of salt, some Parmesan.
Now, where did that dough come from?
We make our dough in-house. We do a poolish, which is an overnight fermentation, and we mix it with warm flour in the morning, and then we portion our dough out, cut it on a bench. We also hand roll it, just like how you saw, pressing out the air bubbles and then doing a light toss. It gives us a Neapolitan style dough so that we can get the nice little air bubble next to the crust.
Those are fresh farmers market tomatoes.
Vernix Heirloom Farm out in Holland.
So cool. That's it. Just the two things. Oh, look at the fire. That's burning my face off. Oh my goodness. All right, what I see is that you didn't use shredded cheese like we do in our house usually. And I felt like it wasn't going to be enough cheese, but that really spread out.
Yeah, it goos out good.
Uh-huh. Look at that gooey. Go for it. I don't have a pizza cutter that cool at my house either. Why the basil on last and not before you cook it?
It'll wilt so quick. When it's fresh like this, I like to do it just torn over the top. If we put it in before it goes into the oven, the leaves will burn, just create more of a bitter flavor.
So all the flavor's still in there. Ooh, pretty. Parmesan?
Maldon sea salt.
Oh, that Maldon sea salt.
There's your Parmesan.
Okay. That looks hand shredded.
Good.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
so
Kate.
much, Chef Clark.